The headlines, Daily Graphic says here, can NPP take over KEA seat? And that's NDC show of victory. That's Constituency Watch. My credit score unveiled as third credit reference bureau. That's also on the front page of the paper. It has a picture of Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bamia, and he launched, I think, yesterday. Yes, credit score, my credit score, and demonstrate true statesmanship. Afenyo Makin tells Speaker, and it's related to the biggest story on the front page. Parliament adjourns again. Government business still hangs, and that's the biggest story on the front page.
Raymond, this thing. So, I mean, I agree with. I side with Andy Apiakubi. Our members of Parliament fighting over a seat or where they should sit, for me, is childish. If I were Alexander Apenyumaking, I still will get government business done. Okay? Because, and you say the Speaker told you that he has not declared NDC majority. If they are comfortable sitting at the right-hand side of the Speaker and they think that if the Speaker is going to address you, if the Speaker says he is not declared NDC, he will address you as majority leader.
And again, even so, mindful of the fact that you went through the same process previously, one would have expected that a lot of engagement would have gone on, or you had a strategy that would have brought in conclusion to this matter, recalling Parliament again.
And you see, Raymond, this is the other point. If you record Parliament, and when we spoke to Kweku Asante at around 8:40 a.m. yesterday, he said there were only 50 NDC majority, NDC MPs.
Yeah.
50 NDC MPs, minority MPs. If you, Alexander Apenyumaking,
brought all 137,
brought all 137 or 138 into Parliament, they would take their places. Because then you know that, okay, first of all, even if they don't get their place, you get business done. But once their name tags are there, you can actually sit in Parliament. When the Speaker comes, then you raise the question and say, Mr. Speaker, we did not want to engage in any chaos that could further hurt the image of Parliament. But as you indicated in our meeting previously, we still constitute the majority, and thus must sit at your right-hand side.
True.
Our name tags are there, but our colleagues have taken over. Then the Speaker now will be forced to say, well, you are the majority, whatever, go on with government business. Or he could direct his, the NDC team or the clerk to move them.
Yeah.
Why do you recall Parliament? You request a recall, and what you do, all you do, is just to sit down and do nothing.
And again, even to the point that the agenda for the meeting, and his explanation is that it was in his record document, but no other paper. No, there's a document that they produced for their other that they want to actually engage in business. You didn't even go for the meeting that determined that. So exactly what was the purpose of this recall in the first place? And I agree with you. You could have still sat wherever and solved the problem, because when Dafiamapo was speaking, his argument is that if they came to sit down and the majority also came to occupy their seat or whichever seat they found, and they raised the matter, and the Speaker said, okay, I've received this ruling from the Supreme Court, my friend, move to the other side immediately, or do what I'm supposed to tell you. They won't have had the choice. In fact, they can't pretend that they can't hear the Speaker.
Yeah.
So if that is the solution, why would we have to suspend? And the Kwame Apiakubi's problem is that he traveled from Asante Achim North straight to Parliament with the hope that he's going to represent his people. Then he comes there. Then where I'll sit is the reason why he's not going to represent his people. He found it quite, he used the term childish.
And in the Speaker's press conference earlier on, we got the understanding about the extensive engagement that happens before every sitting. You know, even what they plan, what they will say, and all the rest. And for me, why is that approach or system or mechanism not working? Because if there was a or there was a conclave or whatever, all these things could have been addressed or dealt there, and they should all rise above all these things and put the country first. Because if you look at the front page of the Daily Guide, it says that parliamentary standoff will affect public servant salaries.
Well, not yet.
I've not read the full story, but that's what the headline
I've seen that by Kingsley Kennedy Osenya. I say not yet because the appropriation in advance of expenditure in advance for the first quarter of 2025, because there's an election year, we still have time to do that. If we're unable to do that, then what that means is that you cannot get that. But this is it for me, really. Look, no matter what, if the NPP wanted government business done, they could have gotten government business done. I submit that this secondary school or university kind of politics, this bravado. I mean, I disagree with you.
JCR.
Look.
Now these are adults. These are people's fathers, grandfathers.
We've all been involved in. We've all been involved in student politics.
Yeah, you scheme, then you say, come on.
You do these things when you are in student politics because you want to get the attention and all of that. At the national level, consensus is key. And this is my other thing. I can reasonably infer that Alexander Penyumaking may be superintending over some cracks in his own group. That's my inference. Or he's probably not doing a lot of things well.
But again, I'm expecting, with respect, I'm expecting people like Osechi Mensabosu, Joe Wise, very experienced parliamentarians, to be helping out. I'm expecting them to be intervening, Raymond, even if it's not openly. And I said this when we sat on the October date.
But Raymond,
I expect that they bring their experience to bear on this process so that we are not seeing them as incompetent people who cannot resolve a small sitting arrangement.
Let me tell you something. When Marley School was 50 years, the first headmaster of Marley School, Reverend Professor Trost, came to Marley School. One of my friends, Daniel Agala, we call him Dansla, he asked him, but why did you leave when you were doing so well? The response the man gave, I've still not forgotten. He said, when you're doing something that somebody thinks he can do it better than you do, let him do it. So sometimes that person must actually walk up to you and request help or advice. Because if you are doing something and another person thinks he can do it better than you do, and the person takes over, if your help has not been solicited, why do you go proffering advice, Raymond? Your advice has not been solicited, so you wait. If they come, you advise them.
But this is affecting the reputation of
not
just an entirety of Parliament.
Let
beyond that,
solicit help.
Well, and it appears he doesn't have a strategy. So I think I want to hear from him. Yesterday when he did his press, I didn't get him. When you were coming, what was the strategy? Because you certainly will know that this issue will crop up again.
Okay.
Anyway,
quickly the headlines. Other stories in Daily Guide says Bamia unveils the My Credit Score System. Speaker NDC on warpath, so says Penyumaking, and Dame to host SKB Asante on international arbitration, and 2 die in Konongo accident. And those are the lead stories on the Daily Guide.
Now, before you go, East Legon accident, 16-year-old boy remanded again. That's actually one of the stories in the Daily Graphic.